Between two doors. Introduction. Life. It is a short path between two doors. We enter through one door, we are born. We leave through the other, we pass away. Yet, not everyone understands how much joy, pain, patience, and hardship exist between these two doors. This story is about ordinary people who lived during the years of war. About their sorrow, their hope, the tears in their eyes, and the endurance in their hearts. A village under the shadow of war. The village waited for the morning as usual. But mornings were no longer the same. The sun rose, yet joy did not. The wind blew, yet brought no comfort. Several years had passed since the war began. Men had gone to the front. Only women, the elderly, and children remained in the village. Silence filled every courtyard. Anxiety lived in every heart. Whose husband would return? Whose son was still alive? No one knew. The fate of a mother and her children. On the edge of the village, in an old house, lived a woman. She was raising her children alone. It had been 3 years since her husband went to war. Since then, there had been no letters, no news. Every morning, she stepped into the yard and looked up at the sky. Maybe a letter will come today, she whispered to herself. But none came. She went to the fields at dawn and returned exhausted at night. When she entered the house, she asked her children, "Are you hungry?" And they replied, "No, Mum," lying gently, because they saw the tiredness in her eyes. Children who grew up too early. War forced children to grow up too soon. They held hoes instead of toys. They listened to hunger instead of fairy tales. After school, they ran to the fields. After returning home, they carried water and chopped wood. There was one boy. He barely remembered his father, for he was very young when his father went to war. Sometimes he asked, "Mum, when will Dad come back?" She remained silent. Then she said, "Soon." Yet she herself did not believe it. Kindness and solidarity. Those were years when hunger grew stronger. Bread was the greatest treasure. If someone had even a small piece, they shared it with their neighbors. One day, a neighbor's house caught fire. Everyone rushed outside. Some brought buckets. Some carried blankets. Some lifted children. No one said, "This is not my problem," because everyone shared the same pain. The heavy news. One day, the postman arrived in the village. Hearts began to race. Who would receive a letter? Who would receive the black letter? A letter was given to that mother as well. Her hands trembled as she opened it. Inside was a single page. Her husband had died at the front. She remained silent. She did not cry. She did not scream. She only stared into the distance. From that day on, she became even quieter. Patience and endurance. Life went on. Even though it was hard. The mother kept working. The children kept studying. Sometimes they were hungry. Sometimes they were sick. But they never gave up. Because they knew, giving up is the greatest defeat. The end of the war. At last, one day, good news arrived. The war was over. The village celebrated. People cried, hugged, and prayed. Some welcomed their loved ones. Some welcomed no one. That mother welcomed no one either. But she held her children tightly and said, "As long as I have you, I am not alone." Life goes on. Years passed. The children grew up. They studied. They worked. The mother grew old. Yet the love in her heart never faded. She always said, "No matter how hard life is, live as a true human being." Conclusion. Between Two Doors is not only a story about war. It is a story about patience. About kindness. About conscience. Every person lives between two doors. Some live honestly. Some live carelessly. But the happiest ones are those who live with compassion. Because what keeps a person alive is not wealth. It is love, patience, conscience. These three things